Hi, welcome to the Peachtree World News and to our, I'm sorry, not yet.
False alarm.
Cancel the show.
Let's go home. Where's that chocolate cake? You saved me a piece, man.
I can deal with these guys. I'm leaving.
Yeah, Chinese New Year.
Hi, welcome back to Peachtree World News. And we're so excited today and we're so disorganized. We're having a Chinese New Year show 2 days with you guys. And it's a mixture of fun and wisdom.
Okay, right.
And we think that 2023 is going to be a kind of a year that we all need a reason to hope. So we're calling the show A Year of Hope. Can you tell me at least one thing we're going to be doing in the next few days?
Sure. So we have a very exciting lineup for the next couple days show. One of our features is going to be our wonderful master chef, Geshe Michael, is going to be teaching us the secret lineage of dumplings.
Yeah.
So we're very excited to get the lineage that Geshe Michael has in store for us. What else are we doing?
What else are we doing?
Okay, guys. We are here in a way to celebrate, as Geshe Michael said, this new year of hope, and it happens to be the rabbit's new year. I have heard very good things about what the rabbit represents in this special calendar. So we are here to welcome and try to prepare ourselves for this new cycle. So we're going to have a special celebration, but some friends from China that are going to show us and share with us a little bit of the culture that holds this wisdom and knowledge.
We got Seiji around, his wife, Noor Ibrahim.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Our wonderful friends Seiji and his beautiful wife Noor are going to be teaching us from the textbook that Seiji's been translating, which is Master Dharma Rakshita's Wheel of Knives text. Yeah. And so is that
plus some Rumi poetry,
yeah,
I hope.
That's right.
Thanks.
Yeah, so that's what we're getting.
Yeah, and that's going to be amazing. We have another interview from Vietnam, don't we?
We do have special interviews during these 2 days.
Yeah.
One of them is about YSI, Yoga Studies Institute, very exciting programs.
I heard that's with the beautiful Connie O'Brady.
Yes, and she will be here in live.
Wow.
We're very lucky that we have such a great mixture of programming. So on Peachtree News, we like to cover all sorts of different subjects from all over the world, different philosophies. So, you know, we're just trying to bring a worldview to the world and to spread it, the Worldview Network. So if anything...
what's the story of the interview from Vietnam? What's that all about?
Oh, that's right. So thank you for reminding me. The interview from Vietnam is we have Mr. Bin, who has a really incredible project. He's been building homes in Vietnam. And so he's going to tell us all about how he's using the seed system through building homes for people to be very successful in his businesses.
Yeah, over 800 homes for poor people that he has built since 2016. So that's pretty awesome. Then we're going to find out about a new university. What kind is it?
Yeah, it's a
hamburger. It's
MBA. An MBA, very cool university, Diamond Silk Entrepreneur University.
Wow.
Took me some time to learn the name with the DS University.
That's right.
And I personally want to get an MBA there. I think it'd be fun. I heard the EMBA is a little bit easier because it's like for executives. And you get credit for past work stuff. And that sounds good to me.
So you have more to talk at the parties.
Yeah.
I got this, I got that, you know.
Very attractive, much more attractive. Okay, I want to talk about a special auction we're going to have. And here's a painting that we're going to be auctioning. And I wondered if, Johnny O, you can show us the first image there that we were talking about. Can you guys, is the audience seeing that image?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, good. This is my stepson, Kazo Sarant. And he recently got on a small boat and went across the Atlantic, the whole Atlantic. And this is him doing one of his, what do you call that? Small videos.
Voyages, oh, yeah,
Uploading to
YouTube or Instagram,
Instagram.
Facebook.
video, and he's driving this boat, sailboat. Let's see the next picture, you guys. This is the sailboats that started out together, and it's kind of a race across the Atlantic from Africa to South America, and it's unbelievable.
Wow.
Let's see the next picture. Here's the route they took. They started in the Canary Islands off of Morocco. And they went, it took 3 weeks, mostly by sail. They also had some motor energy, and then it ran out, the gasoline ran out, and they had an exciting journey across the ocean. Kazo is also a master painter. He's a very famous painter in this area. And he made this picture, this painting, before his trip. This is a painting of the ocean that he was going across. And we've made, he allowed us to do an auction with this painting. And so during the show, we're going to ask you in the chat, right? To make a bid on this extraordinary painting. Now, I want to make something clear from the beginning. It's a copy of the painting. It's a special treatment with the copy. The original painting is floating somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. We don't know where it is, but we did get a copy of it and we printed it up for you. And it's a very, I personally really like, in fact, I will open the bidding myself with $1,000 bid. Okay, so put that in the chat for me, somebody. I'm going to open the bidding. Where does the money go from this auction? We're going to hold it for 2 days, all during the New Year's show. I'm trying not to talk fast because we have translators.
Good luck.
All during the New Year's show, we're going to be asking you to beat my price and keep pushing the price up. 25% of the money will go to the painter. 25% will go to the expenses of the Peachtree World News Show, which is free so far, probably it's going to be free for a long time. And 50% is going to go, next picture, Johnny. Yeah. 50% of the auction amount is going to go to a project inside of China in the Gobi Desert. And what you see here is the library at the Dunhuang Caves. And this library was discovered, it's maybe over 1,000 years old. And it was discovered inside of a cave. The wall was sealed.
Wow.
And they broke through the wall and they found an extraordinary collection of thousands of beautiful books. And the oldest book in the world, the Diamond Cutter Sutra. Can you keep that shot up, Johnny? The oldest book in the world, the Diamond Cutter Sutra, was found there in that cave. And my wife and I went there. Do you see my wife, my beautiful wife there, Veronica? She always finds flowers. I don't know what. And we visited the cave, and they need help keeping the library in good shape. They have not digitalized. They have not searchable database of the Dunhuang materials. So we've asked John Brady's organization, Asian Legacy Library, inside of China. They will be helping to organize the digitalization of the Dunhuang collection, and we'll be donating directly the money. 50% of the money from this auction will be donated directly to the authorities in China who are organizing saving these books and saving these caves. It's a beautiful, beautiful project, and we look forward to you guys helping us out with that. All right, so please, I want to see the bid go up and up on the chat. Okay, Mr. Bin is really good at this. I'm not so good at it. Okay, all right. What's up next?
Well, we're gonna start sharing with you guys the content I think we should say, we didn't mention it, but one of the main things we're gonna have as well is special teachings by you, Geshe Michael, with Xuanzang and his disciple Yuance.
Nice,
Yuance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be very good. I pick on the material, on the pictures. I know it's gonna be very good. But first, we go to Seiji and Nur with the Peacock Warrior project.
Yay!
Thank you, Juan, Daniel, and Geshe Michael. Welcome, everyone. And this is me, Noor, and Seiji Arao, my husband and my partner in this 30 minutes and in life. Thank you for joining, and thank you, translators, for making it happening in many languages. We would like to speak slower this time, so we make your life easier. Thank you so much. So let me introduce myself. My name is Noor Ibrahim. I was born in Syria and I lived my youth there. Then I had to travel to Europe. I lived in Romania and continued my study. And there I met Geshe Michael. And then I moved to the States. And currently I'm running the 4 Steps Engine department for DCI. And also I'm teaching in DCIG and SCIM, which is great honor and pleasure for me. And this wonderful, handsome guy next to me is Seiji Arao Takahashi. And he is the vice president of the Diamond Cutter Institute Global and Sedona College of International Management, SCIM. And also one of the primary translators for the mixed nuts.
Diamond Cutter Classics.
Yes. And he's, together we prepared for you this little teaching for 30 minutes. We would like to speak about hope. This day is the perfect time to reflect on our life and see what we want the next year to bring us. And we were inspired by Geshe's vision to think about hope. And here we prepared for you a very nice topic based on 2 different approaches on dealing with life. So I will not say more. I just want to start with asking Seiji one question. Seiji, why do you think we need to talk about hope in this particular event?
Thank you for the introduction, Noor. I'm extremely happy to be here with you guys today. Also to be teaching alongside my wife, which we've never done before.
Yes.
It's the first time. So this is a very special celebration for all of us. You know, I think the last 2-3 years have been incredibly intense for the whole world. You know, we get this question asked in DCI a lot lately. The whole world seemed to go very, very nicely. And then we got this pandemic that disrupted things. We got now a war, economic crisis, internal conflict. And for a lot of people, this has been very, very intense. For us personally, it's been a lot of changes also for better, very, very intense changes. So we think that it's easy with all these changes that have happened in life, it's easy to fall into despair. So we want to flip that and make it a year for hope, which is in keeping with the year of the rabbit, right? So what I saw is that rabbits in general represents longevity, peace, and prosperity. But this year in particular is hope. So this is great. I think it's perfect for what the world what has been happening in the world.
Great. As we say, we based our material on the book Seiji is translating and on a work I'm doing to translate Rumi's poetry into English. So we are coming with these two unique, exotic, if you want to say, approach of seeing life. And Seiji, can you tell us briefly about your book?
Yes, so this is one of 12 books that we're translating. In one of the, to be honest, it's my favorite project of the World View organization, because we dig into different books, different ancient books, and we learn to translate them many times. The first one is translation into English. And then the second one is translation into day-to-day life, which is what we're trying to do here. And I love this book because it's a beautiful Lojong book, which is the only one in the 12. And what Lojong does is that it aims to teach us how to develop a strong heart for serving other people. It has beautiful poems, and it has great advices, and I just really love it.
Great, thank you. And since I forgot to mention our project, the one we are doing together, the Peacock project, is mainly formed of poetry. In Arabic culture, we believe poetry adds sweetness to life. And when I was a kid, and I hope still now, we were forced to study poetry at the school. And we would never pass a class if we failed poetry. So I myself experienced how beautiful life could be if we spice it up with a little of poetry. So Seiji, I know you prepared very nice poem today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please share with us and how to say, we say poetry is music for the ear. So please listen with your heart ear and let's hear Seiji's poetry.
Yes. So what we're going to see today is a poem based on something we call leisure and fortune. And I like to see it as 10 things to be grateful for. Now, finally, I have gained a life, which is extremely hard to find and can bring me limitless benefits. Now, supposedly, I do possess a mind. And having gained a life like this, and if I turn around and let it lead me down to the depths of hell, it's as though a spell was cast on me, as though I had no mind at all. I would not even be aware of how confused I really was. Who can ever say what things lie there, down deep inside of us?
Wow, this is very sweet. Seiji, what is leisure and fortune?
Well, we're going to go in depth in a minute, but generally speaking, I see leisure and fortune as, you know, most of the people that are here, I would dare to say every single person that is watching this program has that. You have time, you have resources, and the most important, you have the interest to learn how to reach your own success by helping other people first. Among our circles is very common, but we don't realize how rare this is, how lucky we are that we have this great chance to study these deep ideas and to make it our life. You know, at the same time, connecting it a little bit to the book, we have the time and the interest to want to become a Peacock warrior, which means that we all enjoy helping other people as our main goal. So that's what I would say is in general terms, leisure and fortune.
And from your experience from translating this nice poetry and extremely touching, I would like to give our audience kind of specific list or guidance so we can all try to apply it this night, tomorrow morning, whenever. What list of specific things you give us inspired from this poem you just told us?
Sure. Well, this is a classical teaching. One of the first things you learn, actually. And I chose to talk about what is known as the 10 fortunes, or 10 things to be grateful for in this new year to bring us hope. Because this is the best way. If we have these 10, which we all do, it means that we have a special opportunity to transform our world. And it's good for us to remember that. So these 10 fortunes are divided in 2 lists. We have 5 that are external and 5 that are internal.
Wow, that makes it easier to start.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's start. I'll tell you about each one of them.
Mhm.
The first one, someone in our world and in our history has been able to reach liberation. I like to see it as total perfection. Someone who took the seed system and mastered to get rid of all their pain. That's the first one.
Okay, so we need to think about it and be grateful for that, right?
Correct.
Good. Mhm.
Second one, not only we have examples of people who have reached this state, but they have taught it.
Mhm.
A lot of them for 40, 50, 60 years, which is incredible. And we have many books that help us to deal with the different problems that we have in our life and how to reach our dreams.
Mhm.
The third one is these teachings have survived for up to us for over 2,500 years. You know, something really cool to see, which we have the pleasure to have here in the room. We have projects like ALL, projects who their only goal is to preserve these so that people everywhere can have access to that. So that's another incredible thing to be grateful for.
Now you have 6 extended. ALL is on the list.
So thank you, JB. Thank you, Geshe Michael.
Yeah, so if we would choose one word for each one to recap.
Mhm.
So first one, we have like masters, we have teaching that survived,
No, they have taught
taught, and then we have the material they taught
that have survived.
that
Yes.
has survived. And the fourth one is people who are following the teachings.
Right. So with this, we also have incredible amounts of people who have been able to practice these teachings.
Mhm.
And I mean, we get to see it all the time. We think our community in DCI is around 160,000 people.
Right.
And well, people that view it, it might be some repetitions there. But the point is there's a lot of people who are interested
Definitely.
and who are practicing it. You know, one of our departments is creative services who does success stories. And they're flooded with so many people, so many stories from people that have used these ancient ideas to get success in their modern lives.
Great.
So that's the fourth one.
Mhm.
And then the fifth one is called People Have Mercy. These traditionally can mean 2 things. It can be people have the interest to donate to projects like ALL so that these teachings can be preserved. Or in the case of DCI, people have the interest to pay for courses, to spend their time and their money to learn about this.
Yeah.
And then another classical meaning of this is that there's teachers that have love for their students and are teaching them.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to say we have both. So 6,
Good.
5
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
6, 7 with ALL.
With ALL. You know, listening to you, I just figured out how grateful we should be every day, because we take it for granted and we don't think about this cool stuff in our life.
Yeah, again, it's easy to see it as something normal because all of our friends have the same interest. But if you really think about it, it's extremely rare that we have these conditions in our life, and we should really be, in my opinion, we should be very grateful, and can be a great source of hope because this really allows us to.
Yes. Maybe we write them
Which-
down on a paper and stick it on the fridge. Whenever we get a moment of despair or whatever depression, we just look at these 6 or 7 points. I think this is a very smart idea. I would use it. Write me in the chat if you like the idea and if you would join the club of the 6 gratitude points. So Seiji, this was the internal, right? External. So, and you mentioned another 5.
Right. So 10, right? 6, 11.
Oh, wow.
So the other 5 are internal things.
Internal, it means it for about us, like you, like people.
Right. Yeah. The first one is things that are happening in our world, which again, we see as something normal for us, but it's not. It's very, very rare that we have this.
Okay.
And then we go into the 5 fortunes that we have internally ourselves. So the first one is we're born as humans. We have this intelligence that we can go against our natural instincts of competition, for example. You know, I used to have a problem when people would talk about humans being raised above animals, and I never understood it until I heard about this. If we put our heart in the right place, we can do incredible things. And that's something that is unique to us. We can really, I mean, again, unfortunately, it's not the majority of examples of human cases, but we can do incredible things. And we also have the right balance between happiness and pain. Happiness to keep us doing this, and pain to remind us that there's a lot of work that we need to do.
I'm happy you have balance. I don't. Yeah. And what is the second point?
Second one, we are born in a place where we have access to teachings, invaluable teachings like this.
This is very.
You know, and I'm incredibly grateful to Geshe Michael because he has opened, I think, close to 14, 15 that I know of organizations that spread these ideas to different people, different ways. And again, it's our good sis to have someone start so many companies that their only purpose is to get this out to people. Third one is we have general health. You know, we don't have, it's not that we have, I don't know, something that impedes us from learning. And again, I can't stress this enough. We have the enough health to be able to do this, which is very rare, to spend your time on learning how to help other people.
And to enjoy it too.
To enjoy it.
We have the good heart to enjoy. Yeah, this is very, very useful. I mean, to be able to enjoy what you do, because I remember when I'm not enjoying what I do, when I become super grumpy or it's really, I feel the difference, you know. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Then the fourth one is we don't have any major blockages. I mean, we say this in DCI a lot. No one that comes to a talk worries about other people seeing their bag or whatever, because people, if you're here, it means that you have a high degree of ethics in your life. You haven't done any major bad seeds of blockages, like killing people or things like that. So we're pretty lucky also that to have that, we call it seed intelligence, karmic intelligence.
Yeah. This is the fourth one, right?
Yes.
Great. I'm very grateful now. I'm reviving my gratitude listening to you.
And so the fifth one is you believe in the teachings, you have faith.
It's by experience, right?
Right. And this is where, again, I love working in DCI because you get to meet so many people that come and tell you, you know, I came to a DCI talk, I put it into practice, and now I have these things in our lives. We got that happen to us.
Yes.
Marina, a friend from Russia, who's taking care of my chair right now, she told us, "Oh, you know what? I went to a talk in Moscow,
Oh, yeah, this was very
Remember?
touching.
and actually, she told me, oh, you were talking to us about meditation,
Coffee meditation.
coffee meditation." And she said that ever since then, she's been doing coffee meditation every single night.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
When she told me, I told her, please go tell Seishi so he remembers to do his. Yeah, this is so sweet.
So yeah, so we have people that believe in this, that makes sense to them, and more importantly, that put it into practice.
That was so sweet. As far as I understood from till now, that there are 10, 11, maybe 12 things now. If we can take a moment in the end of the year and reflect and be grateful for, right?
Mhm.
Wow, this is so cool. And what will happen when we are grateful? I mean, how that ties to hope, in your opinion?
Well, that ties to hope because, I mean, I think if we all do a quick check in our lives, we can see how rare it is that we are interested in these kind of things. I mean, even within myself, yes, all of our close friends are interested in the seed system. They practice it, they live it. But I start to see that that's not the case for everyone.
Mhm.
There are people that are born, live their life, and die without ever hearing about this. So for me, it gives me a lot of hope, because the big questions, in my case, the big questions in life are answered. You know, what's our purpose? How can I get rid of these problems? Is it possible to get rid of these problems? And luckily for us, I do believe that we have the best tool. I'm not saying that I practice it, but at least I know what I need to do. So all I need to do is to actually do it.
Yeah, this is so sweet. And we still have only like 7 minutes, but I want just here to ask you to give us an action plan from your side of the talk after listening to this. If someone would take few sentences with them home, including us, what is our homework until tomorrow?
Well, you know, I think New Year's is naturally a very good point to do this. I'm not sure if this is a custom in Asia, but at least in the Americas, you take New Year to kind of evaluate your life.
Yes.
I think with all the problems that have been happening, they had made everyone question, am I doing what I'm really supposed to be doing? And I think if we tie that in with the new year, it's a great tool to think, am I going for my big goal? Am I really going for my big goal? And so I think it's a good opportunity. We like to say in DCI, choose 3 things that you want to focus on during this year and help other people achieve that. And I think this year, more than any other year, again, because everything in our lives was turned upside down, is a perfect opportunity to focus on this and be able to go for our big goals.
Great.
I think this is the year to go for our biggest goals.
Using the tool of gratitude, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Correct.
That's so cool. Seiji, I would like to hear more, but also I would like to talk a little bit.
Yes.
So we still have like 6 minutes for me, but the good news is we have part 2 tomorrow. And after that, we will have the whole year to do our Peacock program. And we invite you all to come join us. And this is just a taste of what will be happening in the program. So thank you so much, Seiji, for this very useful and practical tool. I know you had something to end, you wanted to share with the audience.
Yes.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. No, I just, I don't know. I think it's a good thing to use the new year for this. I found this quote online that I really like, and it says, there is no better than adversity. Every defeat, every heartbreak, every loss contains its own seed, its own lesson on how to improve your performance the next time.
Yeah, so inspiring. I hope you all get to improve your performance for next year. And thank you so much, Seiji. This was really super sweet.
Thank you. Thank you for interviewing. So, like Noor said, we have part 2, which is going to be,
5 minutes.
no, we're going to continue tonight.
Yes.
And but I wanted to see if you can give us a little preview on what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I know that you have always had a big interest in Rumi. So I want to ask you why and what can we expect to see tomorrow?
Yes. First, when I was a kid growing with Arabic culture and poetry, we had a lot of Rumi teachings in our school. And for us, like, it was normal, something we grew up with. But when I traveled, especially when I came to the States, when I saw it's like #1 bestseller, you feel like, oh my gosh, that's what I did my homework for school, and that's what I memorized. And it was very hard because Arabic language is very, very difficult, especially in poetry. So we would spend days and nights crying to remember, to memorize for next day. So actually, that's why deep down I'm very touched with. And I remember my father telling me that my grandfather, his father, was a very big teacher, and his library was full of Rumi's books and many other, of course, Arabic books. So it comes like with something with touching my heart since I was a kid. And I see it very relevant to what we do. And I like a lot what he says, like, yesterday I was smart, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I start changing myself. So for me, it's very much similar to seed system, right? Because instead of fighting with the husband in the kitchen, oh my God, it's the husband in the kitchen. Instead of trying to change the world, we would start with ourselves. So that's why I'm interested, and especially when I found the similarities with the seed system.
Wow, this is really, really cool. I think we still have a little bit of time. Can you tell us, I don't understand because I think Rumi wrote in many languages, and can you tell us why?
Yes.
Why did he choose to do that?
Yeah, I think, as you might know, Rumi is, now many countries are fighting what is his hometown, or what does he belong to. So Syria wants him to be Syrian, Turkey wants him to be Turkish, Afghanistan wants him to be Afghan. And because I think his vision was to unite all people. So the best way to connect to someone is to speak his language. And as a great teacher as he was, he wrote in many, many languages. I was very touched to know that he wrote in Arabic to show the beauty of Arabic poetry. This was an act of love, I think, because the intention behind it is to use the beauty of the language. He inserted Arabic verses in the Persian poetry. It's very hard to find, though, because they are scattered everywhere. But I think in my opinion, Rumi wanted or had this vision to connect everyone and to speak to each one of us in his own language, and that's a great gesture of bringing people together.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great teaser.
Mhm.
So if you want to hear about this, please come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be interviewing Noor, and we're going to go through different poems, which are beautiful.
Yeah, and we'll be at the end finding the connections between what we heard today from Seiji. Tomorrow we will try to tie some connections, planting seeds for getting more hope and harmony in the world. So I hope you enjoyed our talk today. Thank you, translators. Thank you, Seiji. This was great.
Thank you.
And I really enjoyed this show and will be looking forward for tomorrow.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Seiji and Noor. It's very inspiring what you're doing. You're helping a lot of people. You're helping a lot of organizations. You're helping spreading this wisdom all over the world. And we thank you for that. I really like this part about like using challenges and difficulties as training to become stronger and wiser and more kind. So we use just these difficulties to become better people and then, spread this love and happiness to everybody around us. So thank you so much for sharing with us. We have exciting news. Next, we are gonna go with Geshe Michael. He's gonna be sharing very special teaching about Xuanzang and his disciple, Yuance. As you may have heard, Xuanzang did a very long and interesting trip to the West, and he brought a lot of knowledge to China. So we're gonna be hearing about that. But just before that, let me tell you something. I just heard the news that somebody, DCI Vietnam, already offered $2,000 for the painting. So I keep encouraging you guys. Let's see how much can we raise for this. Remember, 50% of it is gonna go to save the books, many of the books that contain these amazing and very useful wisdom. So you're actually investing and getting a very pretty painting. Okay, so let's go and let's hear what Geshe has to share with us. Thank you, Geshe Michael.
Okay, welcome to the better half of the Peachtree World News.
好，欢迎大家来到这个桃树新闻秀更好的下一个环节。
And I'm happy that today I have with me Master Stanley Masibandu Chen.
我今天很开心，就是跟 Stanley 能够在一起。
And we're going to do this kind of consecutive transit.
我们会做这种交传的方式，
And I think it'll be more fun for people, especially who speak Chinese.
然后对于讲中文呢，尤其是讲中文的朋友会更加的有趣。
If you don't speak Chinese, you can sleep during that part.
如果你不是讲中文的话，你可以在听中文的时候睡觉。
So, we've been talking about a year of hope.
那我们今年在讲啊，这是希望的一年。
And in different parts of the world, it's been very, very difficult year in 2022.
在世界上的不同的角落，其实2022年是非常之难的一年。
And it's kind of similar to how we built the cafe.
这其实跟我们建设整个咖啡馆的过程很相似，
Because of the COVID,
因为疫情，
we have two and a half hard years.
其实我们度过了2年半，非常艰难的2年半。
And many countries, many people, all of us, we've had this very difficult 2.5 years.
实际上很多的国家，不同国家的人民，我们都一起度过了非常之困难的这2年半。
And we're trying to talk, me and Stanley, we're going to talk about having hope for the new year.
所以我跟 Stanley 今天呢一起要讲讲，就是对下一年要如何充满希望。
New Year is a good time to cut the problems of the last year and start fresh in the new year.
新年到来之际，其实是非常好的一个时机，把去年的所有的问题通通的砍掉、断掉，然后开展新的充满希望的一年。
And Stanley and I were thinking that a teaching that would be really exciting for everybody to have a hope in the new year.
那我跟 Stanley 就在想说， 有这么一个教授是非常的令人兴奋，很有利于大家能够对新的一年充满希望的。
5 years ago, he and I,
5年前呢，他跟我
and Allison, his partner,
还有他的伴侣小平，
we started to study a great book by a Chinese master,
我们一起开始学习一本伟大的经典，是中国的大师所写的，
and his name is Yuance.
他的名字叫袁策。
Here's a picture of Yuance, picture number 1.
我们来看看第一张图，袁策大师的第一张图。
We don't have a lot of pictures of him.
其实我们没有保存下很多袁策大师的图片。
He lived, he was born in 613, so he was born 1,400 years ago.
他是公元613年出生的，所以他是在1400年前诞生的一位大师。
He was born in what is now Korea.
他就是生于现在的韩国，
His Korean name is Wenchuk.
他的这个朝鲜名，当时的朝鲜叫做温茜。
And in West China, Tibet,
在中国的西部，在藏地，
he's called Wencek.
他的名字就翻译为温茜。
And he was a student of a very famous teacher.
他是一位非常著名的老师的学生，
And everybody knows that teacher.
那位老师啊，人人皆知。
His name was Xuanzang. Here's a picture of him, image number 2.
他的名字叫玄奘大师，大家可以看到他的图片。
I love this picture. You see Xuanzang with his backpack.
我很喜欢这张图，因为玄奘大师背着他的背包，
And, this is from his travels.
这是他旅途期间的照片。
Xuanzang had 2 great disciples.
玄奘大师有2大高徒，
And the second one, besides Yuance, was, how do you pronounce Kuiji?
窥基。
Kuiji.
窥基，就是2大高徒，一个是袁策，另外一位就是窥基大师。
And here's a picture of Kuiji,
我们来看看。
image number 3.
对，窥基大师的照片。
Looks kind of tougher than Yuance.
Daniel, not this one. Yeah, yeah. 他看上去有点更加的严肃。
Yeah, and he wrote a famous commentary to the Heart Sutra
他写了一本非常著名的对心经的论释，
and to the Diamond Cutter Sutra,
然后还有写到能断金刚的论释。
which are 2 of the national classics of China.
现在其实是相当于心经跟能断金刚经是中国的2大国宝。
How did Xuanzang learn what he taught to those 2 guys?
那玄奘大师呢，他是如何学习到这些经典的呢？
When Xuanzang was a young man, he went to the emperor of the Tang Dynasty.
譬如说，当时玄奘大师还年轻的时候，他去到了唐太宗的皇帝那里。
You can see this emperor Tang Taizong in image number 4.
你可以看到第4张图，唐太宗的图。
Yeah. I like his yellow suit personally.
我很喜欢
Marina,
他的
can you shift a little bit that way?
我很喜欢他
Just a
的
little bit, just a little.
黄袍。对，
Okay, good. And Xuanzang went to the emperor.
所以玄奘他是找到唐太宗，
He was still pretty young.
他还挺年轻的。
And he said, I'd like to go see the great countries to the south, like India and the other countries.
他就说，他跟唐太宗申请说，想要去到这个南边的一些城市国家，譬如说印度等等。
And you have at that time, the Tang Dynasty was the greatest empire in history.
在那个时候，当时唐朝实际上是历史上最成功的一个朝代。
And Xuanzang said to the emperor Taizong, we can learn about our neighbors and it will help the empire.
玄奘大师就跟唐太宗说，我们可以学习到我们邻国的知识，这样其实也会帮助到我们自己的国家。
And the emperor Taizong said to Xuanzang, if you leave the country, I will have your head cut off.
唐太宗跟玄奘大师说，如果你胆敢离开我们国家一步，你的头将倒地。
Now, Xuanzang was a monk and he was stubborn.
然后呢，玄奘大师呢是一位僧人，而且呢非常的固执。
And he left anyway, secretly, he walked across the Gobi Desert.
对，所以他无论如何还是离开了，悄悄的迈过了戈壁滩。
And he went on a 17-year walk through over 30 countries.
沿着这个戈壁沙漠，然后呢，在沙漠当中走了整整17年。
Here in image number 5, you can see the map of his journey.
然后大家可以看看他这趟旅途的照片，这张地图
It's an extraordinary journey of thousands of miles on foot.
实际上是徒步，就是千万里的一个旅途。
In fact, he kept track of his footsteps.
实际上呢，他还度量了自己走的这个脚步数。
And because of that, we've been able to find some great monuments like the city of, what's it called? Vaishali.
啊，白山
Yeah.
，OK。
Yeah.
所以实际上，因为他的这个伎俩，我们还找到了一些后人找到了一些伟大的遗迹。
Many years later, about almost 1,000 years later,
然后在将近1000年之后，
people were still talking about. By the way, when he got home, the emperor told him he was a genius, and he always supported him.
顺便一提啊，当他17年之后回家的时候，唐太宗宣称他一直都在支持玄奘大师，他是一位天才，说的是还表扬他了。
And 1,000 years later, people were still talking about his trip.
所以现在过去整整过1000年了，人们还在谈论着玄奘之旅。
And they started to ask, how can a single man walk for 17 years through other countries without getting killed or without getting robbed? You see?
所以人们就开始讨论，怎么可能就一个人能够走16年的时间，经过那么多个国家，然后自己却还能够活命存活下来，没有被杀死，这怎么可能？
So there started to be legends about he must have had some special team of guys going with him to help him.
Yeah， 然后呢，就开始有了这个传奇的诞生，人们就开始讨论说，他身边一定是有一些秘密的成员在帮助着他。
And so a famous book was written called The Journey to the West.
所以一本著名的经典就由此写下，这本书就是《西游记》。
Here's a picture of the oldest copy from 500 years ago.
这是500年前最古老的一本这个封面，《西游记》的封面。
Still, it's considered one of the 4 greatest novels of China.
这是中国的4大名著之一。
And in this book, he has a lot of like supernatural helpers with him who protected him for 17 years.
所以在这本书中就谈到说，玄奘大师一路伴随有许许多多有超能力的、有着神奇的这个神功的人在帮着他。
And those 4 or 5 helpers have become very famous in China.
这4、5位人物呢，这个玄奘的助力者，在中国就变得非常之著名。
Here's one of them. He's called the Monkey King.
其中一位大家可以看到是美猴王，
Very popular with children.
孩子们都非常非常喜欢的，
And he's like a kung fu master.
就像一位功夫大师。
And he protected Xuanzang as he traveled.
所以在玄奘大师在旅途当中，美猴王就会保护他。
Stanley, I got some very important news for you.
Stanley 啊，我有一个非常重要的消息要告诉你，
For this show,
就是今天我们这个节目，
we got a secret ancient image
我们得到了一张就是秘密的、古老的、古代传下来的图片，
of Master Xuanzang with 2 of his helpers.
就是这张图片记载了玄奘大师的2大助力。
This picture has never been seen before in the whole world.
这张图片在迄今为止全世界都未有发现过。
And here it is.
我们来看一看，
Okay. This is our own Brian Mendoza
这是 Brian Mendoza
in a past life
他的前身，
and his partner Sharon Fan
还有他伴侣 Sharon Fan
in a past life.
他们的前世，
And with the Monkey King,
跟这个美猴王在一起，
they are protecting Xuanzang
他们在保护着玄奘。
as he walks through 17 years of countries.
在玄奘大师17年就是这个徒步各大国家之时，
So Daniel Hassel, we got an exclusive on the Peachtree World News today.
Daniel Hassel 这个图片是我们桃树新闻馆独家有的，其他地方没有的。
Xuanzang brought back about 700 manuscripts.
玄奘大师呢，大概带回来了大概700部经典，
And he worked very hard with a team to translate them.
他跟他的团队一起非常努力去把它们做翻译。
He translated successfully 75 volumes
他翻译了总共75部经典，
with 1,335 chapters.
然后总共有1335品。
And one of those books was a famous ancient sutra from 2,500 years ago.
其中被翻译出来的一本书，就是来自于2500年前的古老的经典，
It's called What I Really Meant, and it was written by Gautama.
古中文叫做解生密经，意思是我的真意是什么？是由乔达摩所写的。
In Sanskrit language,
梵文
it's called Arya Sandhi Gambhira Nirmochana Sutra.
就是刚刚老师念的
In Chinese, the commentary
然后中文论事论点
is I can pronounce it.
Yeah.
真正密经书。
解生密经书 ，yeah
Okay, yeah,
yeah。
and so he translated that beautiful book,
所以呢，他翻译了这本美妙的经典，
and his student Yuance,
然后他的学生袁策，
by the way, who trained other people who started Buddhism in Korea and in Japan.
然后呢，又名白袁策
Yuance taught two students
who study。
who started
Yeah.
in what's called Silla, which is the ancient Korea and Japan.
OK，就袁策大师有训练出2位徒弟，然后这2位徒弟就去到了古代的日本跟朝鲜，然后开展了那边的佛教的历史。
And Yuance wrote a book which was translated into West Chinese language, Tibetan.
所以袁策写的这本书呢，后来被后人翻译为就是中国西部的藏文，
1,276 pages.
共有1276页。
We started the translation. It will take 10,000 English pages.
我们做了一个估算的研究，就是翻译成英文的话，会要整整1万页。
And one place where you can find this commentary is in the caves at Dunhuang.
其中一个能够找到这本论点的地方，就是在敦煌的洞穴里。
And when we get some serious bids on our auction of our painting,
对啊，当一些真正有用心要认真拍卖的人出现的时候，
we'll be able to give some serious help to John Brady's project.
我们就能够给 John Brady 老师的经典保护项目更加认真的、更加有意义的帮助。
To help the Chinese authorities save the books and protect the books from Dunhuang.
这样我们就能够帮助中国的政府去保护、去拯救敦煌的古迹。
We have a dream to translate this book.
我们也有一个梦想，要把这本书翻译出来。
In image number 9, you can see the book.
下一张图可以看到这幅图。
Okay, we designed the cover before we translated it. No, it's the next image. I'm sorry, I might have to. Yeah, there you go.
OK， 好，这一幅图我们已经做好这个封面翻译了。
Now, this ancient book from 2,500 years ago,
那这一本来自于2500年前的古籍啊，
it's actually 10 chapters
实际上有10章10品，
translated by Xuanzang, commentary by Yuance,
由玄奘所译，由袁策所论，
and it's 10 wise men,
有10位智者，
very famous,
非常著名，
who are students of Gautama.
他们都是乔达摩佛陀的弟子。
And each one asked Gautama a tough question.
每一位学生都给乔达摩做了一个艰难的发问，
So the whole book is 10 amazing questions and 10 amazing answers.
所以整本书实际上是由10个奇妙美妙的发问跟10个美妙的回答所组成的。
And they're going to help you to have a good year next year.
如果学习到这些内容的话，我们将会得到很好的帮助，让我们度过极为之成功的新的一年。
10 extraordinary questions,
10大就是超凡的问题，
10 extraordinary answers.
10大超凡的卓越的回答。
I'll show you the first question, Johnny.
我给大家看第一个问题，
Yeah, I think it's the next image.
下一幅图。Yeah，
Yeah. What is that question? Can you read it?
Yeah.
What does it mean when we say that nothing in the universe is different from anything else in the universe?
当我们说宇宙当中一切事物跟其他事物无有任何不同，不二，到底是什么意思？
If we can answer this question,
如果我们能够回答这个问题，
you're definitely going to have a good year next
你明年一定会有非常之好的一年。但是
year. That's it.
，but
You have to come back tomorrow. 明天见.
你们要 ，I think we have second。
Oh, sorry. I'm going to give you a little bit more after
Yeah.
the.
在休息之后，我会给大家多讲一点点。
So I think, Daniel, we take a 10-minute break.
好，我们会休息10分钟。
Yeah, we had this idea if we cut Geshe Michael's class in half,
我们有这个设想，如果能够把格西麦克的课能够1分为2的话，
maybe you will come back for the rest of the show.
或许你会在余下的节目当中回来。
So go to the bathroom.
好，大家现在请如此。
My teacher said make space,
我的老师会说要创造一点空间，
then have a snack,
然后吃点点心甜点，
and rush back in 10 minutes.
Have their phones ready for the Q&A and children.
Oh, and we're gonna show you some special projects from all over the world, all the Worldview Network organizations.
然后呢，在休息期间呢，我们会给大家轮番的放一些这个海报，是讲到了我们世界观各地的一些活动。
And have your cell phone ready to take a picture of the QR codes.
所以大家可以准备好你的手机来扫二维码，
And you can check out all these amazing projects going on around the world.
然后呢，你可以来看看，了解一下世界各地都在发生的一些很美妙、非常的精彩的项目。
For example, the Yoga Studies Institute upcoming course for the 2-year course for the Hatha Yoga, it will be a very famous yoga.
Yeah，譬如说我们的瑜伽经典学院将近要开始的，为期2年的这个非常经典的瑜伽教授，是来自于一本非常之棒的瑜伽经典，叫《哈塔瑜伽之光》。
Not only is the Worldview Network very productive in the organization,
不仅就是我们这个世界观的网络非常的有生产力，
but very productive in child production.
但是同时在这个生产孩子方面也
And
很高效，
we're going to show you pictures of some of the children.
所以我们会给大家看看一些孩子们的照片。
Okay, so see you guys in 10 minutes.
好了，大家我们10分钟之后见，
Thank you. Bye.
谢谢，再见。
Okay, so by the way, I got some bad news.
有个坏消息，
The auction is only up to 3,000.
现在拍卖价才到$3000。
And I know this must be hard times in the world.
现在果然是全球都很艰难的，
Nobody wants to save the oldest great books in the world in the Xuanzang caves. I'm sorry, in the Dunhuang caves.
现在再也没有人想要去拯救这个敦煌古穴里面的重大经典，
But I know it's gonna go up.
但是我知道这个拍卖价一定会往上。
All right, let's go back to the first question.
我们回到这第一大提问当中，
And each question was asked to Gautama
所以每一个提问呢都是向乔达摩发问的，
by his students
由他的弟子发问。
and 2,500 years ago.
2500年前，
And you know, especially in the old times, not so much nowadays.
尤其是在古时代，并不是现在不是那么的样子了。
The students had a lot of respect for teacher.
以前古代呢，学生对老师可是很尊敬的。
But I have to say, it's like a confrontation.
那实际上啊，这一场对话有点像去质疑一样。
Each of those 10 students is kind of being impolite.
实际上，这每一位学生，10位学生都有一点点不讲礼貌了。
And they're asking tough questions to Gautama.
他们实际上对乔达摩做出了非常之难的提问。
What did you mean when you said that? You know?
他们会像是这样说：“你刚刚讲那一点到底是什么意思
And it's kind of exciting to be in the room when they're getting so hot.？”
就是当这个房间这个热度很高的时候，你能够想象坐在里面其实是很兴奋的一件事情。
And it's one of the greatest sutras in history.
实际上，这是历史上最为伟大的经典之一。
It was extremely popular in China in the Tang Dynasty.
在唐朝，在中国的时候是极为广传的一部经典。
So me and Stanley, we're going to talk about those 10 questions.
所以我跟 Stanley 一起呢，会来谈谈这10大问题。
Here's that first question again.
好，我们来看看这第一个发问。
Each person asking a question
每一个问问题的人
is called a warrior.
都称之为勇士，
In the ancient Sanskrit, it's sattva.
然后在古代的梵文叫 sattva，
And they are a warrior of love.
他们是爱之勇士。
So it's a beautiful idea for the new year.
所以这对我们新年来讲是非常之美的一个理念。
And each warrior has a beautiful name.
所以每一个勇士啊都有非常之美的名字。
And the first love warrior's name
第一位爱之勇士的名字叫做
is thinking very deep.
解密意，
Okay.
解深密意。
And he says,
他说
Gautama, I don't know, you like irritate me sometimes.：“
乔达摩，有些时候你真的让我很苦恼。
You say everything in the universe is the same.
你说啊，宇宙当中一切都是一样的，不二的。
But I don't get it. You know,
可是我完全不懂，
I don't understand why everything in the universe should be the same.
我完全不理解为什么宇宙当中的一切事物、一切法无二，都没有任何的不同。”
And I'm going to show you the answer in the next picture, Johnny, oh,
好，我们来看看下一张图，答案就在那里。
with the pen and the parts. Yeah, here we go.
哎，有笔的这张图，
So this picture tells, as you know, a very deep story for Mr. Thinking Deep to think about.
这张图其实讲了一个很深的，由解深密意先生来去解读的故事。
And if we understand this, even the first question,
如果我们只是单单能理解到第一个问题的话，
you can have endless hope for the new year.
你可以对这个新年有无量的希望。
If you just understand the first question and the first answer,
你只需要理解到，单单只是理解第一个问题、第一个答案的话，
already you're going to have a great new year.
你就已经会有一个成功美满的一年了。
If you are thinking so deeply that you came to this Peachtree World News Show,
如果你自己在如此解深密意的思考的话，然后你来到了这个桃树新闻台的话，
you're going to have a plan for the whole year.
你的全年、新的一年都已经会做好计划了。
And it's going to be a fun year and a very successful year.
这将会是充满乐趣跟成功的一年。
The people who understand these things,
理解到这些知识的人，
they have a great year. And while they're having a great year, they have a lot of fun.
他们将会在新的一年过得极为的成功，而且在同时充满了乐趣，乐趣横生。
And then the hope can spread to the whole country from these people.
这些人身上的希望将会传播到整个国家。
So here's that picture again of the pen.
好，我们再看看笔的这张图。
Anybody got a pen for Nian's pen?
I
Oh, I
got
think I
one.
got one.
I got one.
No, yeah, two.
I got 空心。
Closing. Okay,
Oh, we have this.
no, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always talk about pens.
我们就会讲到这个故事。
Yeah. We ask the question.
然后有个问题，
You basically know.
第三不知道，
Let's say, what's this thing?
我会问说这是什么？
Everybody can say B.
大家都会说笔
B
pen，
means pen.
笔的意思就是笔，
Okay.
笔的意思就是 pen 的意思，笔就是笔。
Ask you, Does the if a dog come into the cafe today,
如果呢，一只小狗今天走进了这个咖啡馆，
will they see a pen?
他们会看到是一支笔吗？
And you can say, no, no, guess what? We know.
我会看到是一支笔。
The dog sees two toys.
小狗看到的是磨牙玩具。
You know, and I actually, I had a famous problem in Singapore one time.
有一次，我其实在新加坡遇到了一个非常著名的问题。
After I finished the talk,
当我演讲结束之后，
one guy came backstage. He's not from Singapore.
有一位男士呢，就是到了舞台的后方，他不是新加坡人，
I'm not going to say his country,
我也不会说他是从哪个国家来，
but he talked like this.
所以他讲话
He
是这
said,
个
I。don't understand.
然后就来到这个舞台后方，
Why?
为什么老讲这个？
Every time you come to Singapore.
你每次来新加坡，
He's French, okay?
那是法国人。
You talk about the same thing every time. I have to buy the ticket. Why I have to buy the ticket?
然后他就会问我说：“我每次都要买票，为什么每次都要买票
And I said, when you understand the pen, I will stop talking about the pen, okay?？”
我就跟他回答说：“当你真正理解到彼得故事之后，我就不会再讲了。
If you just understand that this pen is not coming this way, this pen is coming this way,
如果你就能够理解到这支笔不是来自于这个方向的，而是来自于这个方向的话，
then of course you're going to have hope for 2023.
那你当然就会对2023年充满希望了。
Your success is not coming this way. Your success is coming this way.
你的成功不是从这边而来的，而是来自于你自己这边的。
How does it come this way?
怎么会从这边来呢
Johnny, I'll show that picture again. with the
Woman.
3 pictures in it.
？Johnny，我们再看看那张图片。
Yeah, the pen and the parts and all that. The last one. Okay. Yeah, okay. So when I look at this pen,
当我看着这支笔的时候，
there's 2 pieces,
这里有2部分，
okay? And then I look at the pieces
然后我看着这些部分零件，
and a seed opens up in my mind
一颗种子在我的意识当中打开，
and a picture comes out.
图片出来了。
For the human, the picture is a pen.
对人类来讲，这张图片是一支笔；
For the dog, the picture is a chew toy.
对狗来讲，这张图片是一个磨牙玩具。
And the picture comes out of the seed in your mind
然后这张图片从你的意识当中的种子出来，
and it joins the pieces of the pen together.
把这支笔的不同部分联合起来，
And it creates a thing out of the pieces.
从这些部分当中就创造出一个事物。
The human has a picture of a pen
人类有笔的图片，
and the dog has a picture of a chew toy.
狗有这个磨牙玩具的图片，
The pieces are the same.
这些零件都是一样的。
So if you have a good seed,
如果你有一颗好种子的话，
you will see a pen
你会看到是一支笔，
and that makes you human.
这就令你成为了人。
If you don't have such good seed,
如果你没有这么好的种子，
the same pieces
同样的部分
become a chew toy.
就变成了一个磨牙玩具。
And then tell me,
然后告诉我，
you is a dog.
你就是狗，
Okay, you is a dog.
你就是一只狗。
Okay, it's not that dogs see it that way. It's not that dogs see chew toys. That's not the right way to say it.
不是说狗看到了磨牙玩具，这么讲其实是不对的，
If you see a chew toy,
而是说如果你看到了磨牙玩具，
you
你
is a dog.
就是狗，
That's what a dog is.
这就是狗的存在。
So in this case, we can say a dog is unsuccessful 2023, hopeless.
然后在这个例子当中，我们可以说狗代表的就是没有希望的、失败的2023。
But if you have good seeds,
但如果你有好种子，
then I don't know, you're gonna have a great year,
那你就会有非常之棒的一年，
successful business, successful family,
成功的生意、商业，成功的家庭，
and happy and having fun whole year.
然后呢，非常之开心，全年都在享受。
I'm so having so much fun. I can't sleep at night.
我真是太多的乐趣了，晚上都睡不着。
I'll ask my wife, what time I got up yesterday,
我问我太太，我昨天几点起？
last night? 2 o'clock.
2点起的，
I didn't want to sleep anymore.
我再也不想睡觉
She's
了。
like, what are you doing?
她说你在干嘛？
I said, I'm having too much fun. I don't want to sleep
我
anymore.
说我太多乐趣了，我不想再睡下去了。
And I got up and did this talk.
然后呢，我就2点钟就起床了。
Okay, you're gonna have so much fun.
所以呢，你会有如此多的乐趣。
So now we'll test with Stanley.
我要跟这个 Stanley 做一下考试。
The question of the warrior thinking deep.
这个解生密意勇士所提的问题，
What does it mean when Gautama said everything's the same as everything else in the whole universe?
就是当乔达摩说一切诸法无二，宇宙当中一切的事物都跟别的事物没有任何不同，到底什么意思？
What's the meaning, Stanley?
？Stanley
I'll
真的
translate
是
it to Chinese.
OK。It means everything is just like the pen,
Yeah, exactly.
not coming from this way, coming from this way.
You can translate yourself.
OK, I'll translate.
I'll just check.
OK OK，这个一切诸法无二的意思就是说，一切事物都跟笔一样，不是来自于它本身，而是来自于我们的种子。
And that's the answer that Gautama gave to Mr. Thinking Deep.
这便是乔达摩对解生密意先生所做的回答。
Of course, not everything's the same. What are you drinking tonight?
就是我coconut。
He's having coconut
比
water.
如说我现在在喝这个椰子水，
I'm having normal water.
然后老师在喝普通的水，
It's not the same.
不一样的，
It's different,
是不同的，
but it's the same.
但是却又是相同的。
Why?
为什么 ？Why？
Come from me.
因为是来自于我，
Come from my seed.
来自于我的种子。
Everything is the same. The first question was a stupid question.
所以这第一个问题是很愚蠢的一个问题，因为一切事物都是一样的，相同的。
Of course, everything's the same.
当然，一切事物都是一样的，
It's all coming from you.
因为都是来自于你。
Okay, we straight on question number 1.
所以我们现在已经搞定第一题了吗？
I got 2.5 more minutes according to my bosses and the 2 MCs.
根据我的老板跟我2位主持人，我们还有2分钟。
Let's go to the second question.
那我们来去到第2个问题。
And by the way, if you're a master Yensen,
顺便提啊，如果你是原测大师，
it will take you 3 years to explain the first question.
你是会需要你3年的时间来回答我们刚刚的第1个问题。
So don't complain, the show's too long.
所以不要跟我抱怨说，哎呀，你这个节目太长了，时间太长。
The second warrior's name is the rising up of wisdom.
然后第2个菩萨的名字，第2位勇士的名字叫做法勇，法勇。
Then he says, hey, I got a question for you, Gautama.
然后法勇勇士就说，乔达摩，我也有一个问题要问你。
You said you keep talking about ultimate, the ultimate. Woo, woo, woo.
你是在讲这个究竟圣义地什么意思？
What is that?
到底是什么？
You know, what is the ultimate?
何为究竟？
Okay, you guys ready?
大家准备好了吗？
When you look at a pen
那你看着一支笔，
and I ask you,
然后我问你，
is it coming from its side or is it coming from you?
它是来自于它本身，还是来自于你？
And you say, well, Geshe, because of question number 1,
然后你会说，哦，葛老师，因为你刚刚讲到的第1个问题，
I understand it's coming from me.
我理解到这是来自于我的。
How much of this pen is coming from the pen side?
那这支笔当中，它有多少是来自于笔那一部分的？
0%.
0%。
I'll show you the mathematics. You can understand. Johnny, oh, hit
给
me.
大家展示一
Give me
下
that picture
这一张图啊，给大家看一下一个数学公式，你就会懂了。
after the question. Yeah,
OK，
I took me like an hour to get this image for you.
花了1个小时时间给大家准备好这幅图嘛。
1 minus 1 is 0. Yay.
减1等于0。
Ultimate means
所以 终极或者圣意的意思是
You start with the pen.
从笔开始，
How many pen come from the pen?
有多少笔的多少个部分是来自于笔的，
Subtract one.
把一减
What you
掉，
got?
剩下什么？
Zero.
零，
That's called ultimate reality.
这就叫做圣意地，究竟现实。
That zero is called ultimate reality.
那个零的意思就是究竟现实，
It doesn't mean nothing.
它不是说意味着什么都没有，
It just means that everything's coming from you.
它只是表明了一切都是来自于你的。
In 2023,
在2023年，
I want you to look at everything that happens to you.
我想要大家去观一观你身上所发生的所有的事情，
Subtract all the things that are coming from you.
然后把所有一切来自于你的事物全部
Okay.
减掉。
Everything that happens to you next year,
也就是说，明年在你身上所发生的所有的事情，
starting tomorrow.
从明天开始，
Subtract all the things
减去所有的
that are coming from you.
来自于你的事物，
How much left?
剩下多少？
Zero.
零，
Zero.
零，
Okay? And that means everything is ultimate.
这就意味着一切皆是究竟，
That's the meaning of ultimate.
这就是究竟圣意的意思。
In 2023,
在2023年，
you cannot one time blame another person for anything in your life.
你生活当中的任何事情，你就不能做一次的对他人的抱怨。
Every single thing that happened to you, your city, your country, your family,
你自己身上、你的城市、你的公司、你的家庭，那你的家庭、你的国家所遇到的所有的事情，
it's all coming from you.
全都是来自于你。
Okay? Be nice to other people.
所以你要友好的对待别人，
Share what you have with other people.
跟别人去分享你所拥有的，
It'll come back.
一切都会
Okay?
回来的。
If you have any problem,
如果你遇到任何问题，
stop bothering other people.
不要去干人了，
It's very, very simple.
这很简单的。
The answer to the second question,
对第二个问题的回答是，
nothing will happen in 2023 except what you make.
2023年不会发生任何，除非是你自己创造的事情。
Okay, we're going to stop there, but I'll give you the third question so you can think about it before tomorrow.
好，我们将会讲到这里，但是呢，我想现在给大家讲讲第三个问题，这样大家可以今天想一想。
There's a warrior called Stainless Wisdom.
有一位勇士叫做善清净慧勇士，
He said, Gautama, I got a problem.
他说：“强让我有个问题啊，
You say the weirdest things.
你说的东西真的最奇怪。
I remember something you said.
我记得你曾经说过的话，
You said nothing is one
你说没有任何事物是一，
and nothing is more than one either.
也没有任何事物是多。
What the heck are you talking about?
你到底在讲什么呢？
You want to know the answer, you got to come back tomorrow.
如果你想要知道答案的话，得明天回来。
Okay, thank you, Stanley.
好，谢谢 Stanley，谢谢老师。”
Back to the camping ground.
Wow, that was so amazing. Now we really have hope for the new year after that incredible message. Pretty easy to have hope after an amazing talk like that. And so the goodness just continues on the Peachtree World News Show. We have with us the president of YSI, the Yoga Studies Institute, a very dear friend of both of ours, Connie O'Brien. And we're very pleased to have her on today's show. We're going to ask a couple of questions. But first, I'd like to start off by talking a little bit about Connie and her amazingness in this world. So Connie's an accomplished meditator and a 3-year retreat. So I had the fortune of doing 9 months of a portion of a long retreat, but Connie Lott did the entire 3-year and 3 months and 3 days of the retreat. And so when she came out of retreat, Geshe Michael asked her to lead YSI, which Geshe Michael started this organization in 2004. And the mission of YSI is to spread the ancient yoga teachings in a modern world in a way that modern people can bring it into their daily practice. So that's just a little sweet introduction on who Connie is and what the YSI is. We'll be having her on the show many more times in the future, I'm sure, and her future programs. But for today, we really want to talk about the program that she has coming up. It's called the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So we're going to focus on that over the next few minutes of our interview. And Juan, take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Connie, for being here.
It's a pleasure.
It's an honor for us and a pleasure as well. So we hear about this upcoming event you have, the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. We just come from like, how was it, like 4 years of studying the Yoga Sutra?
Yes.
It was amazing. I was very blessed to be able to attend. 2 years, 4 chapters, 2 years. And now we are moving on the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So can you tell us a little bit like what is this one about, and what would you say about the motivation of teaching this particular book, an ancient text? Like what's something that people should have in mind before signing up for this course?
Thanks, Juan, and thank you so much, Daniel. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be on the Peachtree World News. So the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is a manual, and it's going to take us 2 years to complete. And since this is New Year's Eve, I think it's great to start with a commitment to complete it. Have some patience with yourselves. Be curious about this manual because it's a practice manual. And then I'd say experiment on yourself, because that's what Geshe Michael did in his 3-year retreat when he studied this manual. Then I'd also say, take it like you plan to teach it to somebody else. So I also think that this Hatha Yoga Pradipika is really wonderful for your theme, the Year of Hope, because it's all about learning to tame our minds by using the outer methods, getting into the subtler inner methods, and becoming more peaceful.
That's excellent. So then, if I get this straight, you want your students to come with an open mind, ready to experiment the practices themselves, and ready to put it into practice right away. Something like that?
Pretty good.
Okay.
The commitments first. Commit to the whole 2 years.
Committing to the whole 2 years, that's right. So this is going to be the beginning, the first part of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So get ready for an incredible ride. And so the next question we'd like to ask you is, who's teaching this course? And what makes this text a little bit different from the previous text that we've already studied, the Yoga Sutra?
Well, I'll answer the second part first. So the Yoga Sutra was really, it's really more like a philosophical text. And the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it's like the practical part of that text, how to actually put it into practice. So the teacher, Geshe Michael Roach, will teach the master class for us. And that starts
Cool.
at 6, very cool, 6:15 to 7:45 daily, starting January 30th.
Arizona time.
Arizona time, thank you,
Got it.
yes. And why it's really cool that Geshe is teaching it is because he studied this, and it's a retreat practice manual to some degree. So he studied it during his 3-year retreat, and he experimented on himself. So what we have is a yogi who knows the practices. That's very cool.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you want to,
Just, yeah.
please.
He's also an amazing Sanskrit scholar. So he read it in Sanskrit and then translated it. So from the original
Wow.
text, yeah.
Cool.
basically.
So I have this question. I've seen that you are advertising and with a beautiful poster, and it has a tiger on it. And what it's about the tiger? I hear this thing about riding the tiger and beating death to death, and I like it, but I don't understand it. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, sure, one, yeah. The tiger, it's like the idea of drastic means. Drastic means just refers to the physical means, the outer means, rather than just sitting on your cushion, fighting with your mind all the time. You can actually use your body. And this is something that's, becoming so well known in psychology today. It's known in yoga today. If you use your body, because it's very difficult to change your mind, just like sitting on a cushion, you just
Right.
get up and leave. But when you work with the body first, calm those winds, calm the mind, you can actually drive yourself much faster. So it's really riding the tiger is in part referring to that.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that then this book was something that Geshe Michael put into practice in his very own 3-year retreat.
Yes.
And it's designed to help retreaters because it was also written by a retreatant. But let me ask you something. What if somebody's never done retreat? And what if they're, they don't know anything about retreat? How is this course still okay for those kind of people?
Absolutely. For sure, it came from somebody who was a master retreatant, Swatmarama, Yogi Swatmarama is his name. And yes, it's helpful to do the practices in retreat because then you have an opportunity, everything's quiet, you can really watch what's going on in your body and your mind. But you can also do it in your everyday life. Geshe Michael wrote, good for sure. Geshe Michael wrote a book called The Diamond Cutter for Business. And the Diamond Cutter for Business has a tool in there called Circle Days. Take a look at that book, learn how to do circle days. And when you're doing a circle day, try out some practices. They're going to be super, super fun.
Great. That sounds
Thank you so much. So how can we sign up?
Oh,
How do we get the?
QR code. So this will lead you to the Yoga Studies Institute website. And if you check out our site, you're going to find some warm-up courses for the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. You're going to find there some stories about the great yogis, some treasures like how to follow a yogic diet, 15 asana poses that are found in the first chapter.
It's true. I signed up already. There's a lot of cool stuff you can get access
There
to.
is. And then I also want to mention that aside from Geshe Michael, we have some wonderful YSI teachers. And Earl Burney in
Ooh,
the
I like
evening
Earl.
will
That's great.
do a review of Geshe Michael's morning class. And then following Earl Burney is Michael Johnson, he studied the Hatha Yoga Pradipika with Geshe Michael and other teachers in 2005 and 6.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's really a wonderful teacher as well. And then we also have one of the things we always encourage people to do is to do the homework, to actually put it into practice. We have a wonderful young man named Benjamin Bridges. Anyway, Benjamin's going to run the homeworks, actual homework sessions on our website with people.
Cool, sweet. And is there anything special that maybe if you're studying in another country, you should do differently or?
Images there, it'd be great to show those. Are those up anywhere?
Yeah, we're getting those ready right now.
Okay. Here you can see if you go on WeChat, you'll be able to find the Raw Diamonds distributor, and you could take the course through Raw Diamonds. You could also take it through Zhongwen. Zhongchen, thank you very much, Zhongchen. You can take it through Zhongchen. Again, look for it on the WeChat. Or if it's outside of mainland China, look for outside of mainland China, look for Singapore DCW. And then the English channel, we have DMO Yoga, and that's Sugen Shi and Xin Qian. And they're going to be running a course on Telegram, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lots of options for everyone, no matter where they're viewing from.
That's right. We also have Ivo and Mr. Bin and Rio in Vietnam.
Great.
So if we study this content and we learn it very well, what's gonna happen?
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, what's going to happen is you will reach the ultimate, if you put it into practice.
Yes.
You will reach the ultimate goal of yoga, which is what Geshe Michael was just talking about before.
Sweet.
Brings hope to the world when somebody can actually do that. It's also what Noor and Seiji were talking about earlier. So very well tied into all of these things that are happening here in Peachtree World News.
There's so much hope for the
We have
next
to
year.
try, we have to try.
Yes, that's amazing. Okay, guys, so thank you so much, everybody. Connie, you're so amazing. We're so lucky. So we're gonna move right along with our Dharma Variety Show. Thank you so much again, Connie. Next, we have wonderful master dumpling chef, Geshe Michael Roach. Yes, he'll be coming up here pretty soon. We're gonna clear the stage for him and get it ready for his dumpling lesson. First day, yes, excellent. Okay, Geshe Michael's coming very soon. Okay, so we're gonna get the dumpling stuff ready.
Here's the master cook.
All right,
Daniel, I need help.
okay,
Okay, good.
yep.
All right, now. Yeah, I don't know where my hat is. I'm supposed
Oh,
to-
yeah, no, we got that. It's coming.
Okay. I have carefully washed my hands in the last 48 hours.
Chef, you're hearing me again.
What's that painting, Daniel?
The painting, what are we at on the painting? We're at $4,000 so far on the painting. So we're getting kind of close. We're getting kind of close.
Okay, now, I know all our friends in Asia. What you do for New Year's is you have your family there, you know, and today is morning of New Year's Eve. And tomorrow's show is gonna be New Year's Day. And you guys are gonna be hungry and you're gonna have to feed your friends and your family, and you're gonna go to your parents' home. And listen, if you can show your parents that you know how to make dim sum or dumpling, then your parents are gonna be very proud of you for the new year. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna have our cooking show on both days. We're gonna teach you how to make dumpling, vegetarian dumpling. And something you probably don't know is that I was a cook for 8 years in the Mongolian monastery. And I was the youngest monk there, and I had to cook for all the other monks for 8 years. And their favorite food was dumpling. So, you know, I think everybody take out their phone and drop it right now. You know, okay. So I cooked probably 1 billion dumplings in my life, and I want to show you how to make some dumplings. The best thing you can do when you go home for New Year's, especially the boys, is especially if you don't have a girl to bring home some dumplings. Okay, so we're gonna show you how to make dumplings for your family. Now, there's basically 2 parts to the dumpling. You guys got a clock for me to watch so I don't talk all night? Oh, when do I stop?
So whenever you're ready, Ken,
But-
we're not on the time crunch. When you're ready, we'll end the show and start the question and answer
Okay.
for whoever wants to stay.
But what's nice?
We give you 7 more minutes.
Okay, I can do it. All right, so can you make, today, we gotta have 2 parts of the dumpling making. Number 1, obviously you have to make the skins for the dumplings. You have to learn how to roll out the dough and get the dough ready. We're gonna make the dough today. And it's gonna sit overnight in a refrigerator here at the cafe. And then tomorrow, we'll be learning how to make dumplings with it, okay? So first thing, make sure everything's clean. And I'm gonna show you an amazing way to make dumplings. I was taught by a master dumpling maker from China, who was staying at the Mongolian monastery. And he was my dumpling teacher. And he came, you know, from the countryside. He was a country guy. And they were very strict that you should never waste anything. You shouldn't waste one speck of the powder of the flour, for example. So we're gonna make the dough tonight to prepare for the skins. Tomorrow on the show, we'll be showing you how to chop up the vegetables and with a seipo, okay? This is called seipo. I don't know what you call it in Chinese. Similar? Yeah, and it's a very, very powerful tool and a dangerous tool. I once went to the hospital because of this particular one. I love you. And it can work very, very fast. And we'll be talking about how to use the seito tomorrow. Okay, it's nice to have a apron. Okay, when you're doing this dough, it's nice to have an apron. So normally I don't have this cook's outfit. I just put this apron. Oh, I got a better apron for you guys. This is what the Peachtree Cafe aprons look like. They are from France. And this one is a rabbit. And it's called Domaine de la Garenne, which I have no idea what it means. And so it's good to have a cloth with you and something nice, okay? Now, the principle here is simplicity. Okay, don't get complicated. Don't be like those Americans who buy a machine, right, to mix their dough and they put 34 things in it. We're not going to do that. We're going to carefully measure the dough. After you've made 1 million of these, you don't need to measure anything. Okay, I'm telling you, you don't believe me. Okay, so I've carefully measured the flour. Okay. And then, can we get that overhead camera going, you guys? Woo-hoo. Thank you, Johnny O, for being the master, and we look forward to you emceeing tomorrow in your studio. All right, gotta get this water ready. Very fresh water. The key to good cooking is fresh water, clean, clean, clean water. Okay, don't use tap water anywhere, especially not in Arizona. Okay, and the key to good tasting food is clean water. So I brought this from my wife, Veronica, and I, who's one of my cooking teachers. And then you're gonna take your fist, okay, and you're gonna make a little hole in the flour, okay, like that. All right, so we got a hole, a little crater, like a volcano crater. Then you're gonna carefully measure the water. And you start mixing the water and the flour together. Okay, I'm using just normal white flour. You can use brown, carefully measure, okay? Don't do anything talking or anything while you're measuring. And you just keep massaging it, and don't put too much water in because you cannot take it back. It's like salt. You always measure the salt in your palm and add it like this. You never pour it from the. So we're gonna keep adding water carefully, carefully, until we got most of the dough going. And I'm gonna speed up here because I don't have much time.
You go over a little bit.
Again, somebody asked me, are you gonna put baking soda in there?
No.
Did I? No. How about salt? No. Nothing else, okay? It's just pure. It's just water and flour, okay? And you keep going until you're pretty much, and you got to keep wrestling with the flour, okay? And we'll put in a little more water, carefully, carefully. And keep turning it over, keep punching it, keep kneading it, okay? I still got a little too much dough in here unless we add some. Don't overdo the water, be careful. And use it now. Use the dough to clean the pot as you go, okay? Use the dough to clean the pot as you go. if you're a real dumpling master, you will not waste the tiny bit of the dough. The pot is gonna be clean by the time I'm finished, okay? I hope the money pay me home. Oops, sorry, okay. Go like this. And again, my teacher was from the countryside. He was poor. And he said, you cannot waste a tiny bit of the flour. Okay, I want you to clean the bowl by using the flour. Okay. So, now we're gonna get serious. And it takes a long, many years to get this fast. Okay, now look. Okay, I got all this dough in my hands. So you're gonna rub it off, okay? And again, you don't waste anything. You don't go wash your hands, okay? You get every tiny, and you keep adding it to the dough. That's why you wash your hands before you start. Okay, and you just keep rubbing your hands together. Get your fingers cleaned out. Get it all up. Up, wedding ring, yep. Okay. Come back here. And keep rubbing the dough in the pot. Getting together the and keep rubbing it off your fingers.
No problem.
Okay, we got one more minute. So I can continue the show without washing my hands, right? If I've done a good job, okay? So that's it, okay? There's minimum left in the pot. And we got a nice ball of dough. There we are. Okay. I have a granddaughter named Cece, and that's how we touch her bottom. Okay, so got a bag like that. And then you're gonna put this in a plastic bag and keep it overnight. And then tomorrow, we'll be ready to make our mobiles. Yay! Okay, back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome back. So everybody, that is officially the end of our program for today. However, we do have a special bonus, a surprise for anybody who wants to stay with us. Geshe Michael Roach is going to be doing a short question and answer. We're going to give about 15 minutes. So if you have a question that you've been dying and you've been saving it, especially for a Geshe, then now is your chance. And so we're going to give a couple of questions over to Geshe Michael. And then after that, we have a very special bonus for our, especially for our Chinese viewers. We're doing the Chinese New Year show. So Stanley and Allison Xiaoping have a very special little surprise, most especially for our Chinese speaking viewers. So please stick around, and we have bonus material, but you know, officially the show's over. So if you gotta go, you gotta go, but we'd love for you to stay. So Geshe Michael's gonna be back here, ready to answer some questions.
Yep, here we go. Hi, welcome back. The cook is here. Are you with me? We're gonna answer these questions.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So we have
Wait,
questions.
how are we gonna do this? 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We have 10 minutes, so use them wisely with Geshe. Send your questions, please.
I hope Grandpa doesn't spend 11 minutes on one question.
Maybe it's worth it. Sometimes it is. Very much. So questions from the audience. There is already a question here. From Rob Haggerty Jr.
Oh.
He says, how does visualizing a mental construct? We already start with the difficult one.
That's okay.
Okay. Or thinking about an archetype contributes to getting the things you want to happen in your life?
Oh, that's a great question. And recently we had the release of advanced DCI Advanced Level 2. And that level was based on the Mixed Nuts translation team's work, and specifically a translator named Adam Andrade. And he wrote a 460-page book. He translated it. And a lot of that book is about mental images, and we call archetype. So that means, when you were a little kid and I don't know, you were 2 years old and your mom, I remember my mom, slow down, took me out on the street and we were walking down the sidewalk and she pointed to a car and she said, car. And I'm like, what? And she said, car. And I'm like, what? And then it was a 1950 Chevy and I'm like, okay, that's car. That's car for me. So in my mind, the first time I learned the word car in this lifetime, it was connected to a picture in my mind, okay? The word is not the picture, and the picture is not the word, but there's a big power of a mental picture. It's very similar to the power of a word, okay? If we say we want to have hope for 2023, we want to have hope. When you say hope, that's a kind of picture in your mind. And probably that picture comes from something your mom taught you when you learned the word hope. What do you call esperanza in Spanish? So your mom taught you, his mom taught him esperanza, like hope, right? Is it right? And then he has a picture in his mind. When I say esperanza, he's like, oh yeah, that's what my mom was teaching me, So you have a picture in your mind. And you have hope in your heart also. So hope can be a word in your mind. Word and the mental picture are very similar. Or you have the real hope in your heart. Now, if you have no hope for the future, you can easily start by planting the picture in your mind. And then the picture becomes reality. How it becomes reality.
That's a question.
Yeah, you have to imagine, close your eyes and think about what is hope. And then the meaning of that word and what is hope for you. That picture will become clear in your mind, okay? And then you have to imagine who needs hope. Who needs hope? We had a employee came to apply for a position here last week. And she had a very serious, like a heart attack. And then she went to the hospital. And so I can imagine, I can close my eyes and I can think of hope. What is hope to me? Esperanza. And what do you call in Chinese hope? Xiwang. And I can imagine it, and I can imagine giving her hope. And then when I imagine giving her hope, that creates a seed around the hope in my mind. And when that seed opens, that hope picture comes out into the world and it becomes real hope. So by closing my eyes, thinking about a picture of hope, imagining who I'm going to give that hope to, it creates a seed around the picture. And then that seed ripens, that seed opens, and it becomes hope in your life. And then you have a wonderful 2023. Nice question.
Very
What's the
good.
next
We
question?
have time for more.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So now we have many questions. We're just gonna choose one
Okay.
randomly. Okay, it says, I sometimes like to contemplate the teachings I have received when lying in bed or staring at the sky, or even by having a long, sweet discussion with a friend. What is the difference between doing that and analytical meditation?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this person's talking about, sometimes I like to just sit, I like to sit at the kitchen table in the morning. I get my coffee, I make my coffee. I put the coffee on the table and, or my wife and I, we have couch time. We both sit on the couch and we just think about things, you know, you just think about things. So sitting at the kitchen table in the morning or sitting on the couch together with my wife and we both have a coffee and we're just thinking. Sometimes she takes me outside for gardening and she says, look at this guy, you know, and we talk about the sky, how beautiful it is. My stepson, Kaza, who painted the painting about the ocean, he had a lot of things to say about traveling across the ocean in a small boat for 3 weeks. And he said, you don't see anything for weeks. There's sometimes no wind. The boat just stops. You have to sit there and you have to wait. And sometimes 3 days, 2-3 days. And he says, you lose sense of time. And he's a very active guy. He has a lot of projects. He's a very successful person. And he's out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. There's no wind. And he's sitting on the boat, you know, and he said it was very strange. You lose your sense of time. And I think the same thing happens when you look at the sky. So it's very, very helpful. Just sit down at the kitchen table in the morning, you know, get the kids to school and just be quiet and just have, we call it quiet time in my house. And that's very close to meditation. So that is more or less an analytical meditation. You don't have to cross your legs. It doesn't matter what you look like from the outside. If you look like Gautama with your legs crossed, and it's not necessary. You can easily sit at the kitchen table in the morning and have a coffee and do your analytical meditation. It means you can check about things. But, done shit. Focused meditation, one-pointed meditation, completely different. You have to be with straight spine. You have to be sitting down in a chair or sitting down on the floor. You have to close your eyes. You have to cut off all senses, no listening, no seeing, no smelling. And you have to bring the object up in the middle of your mind. And you have to focus on it one-pointedly. So yes, you can do analytical checking meditation. You can do at the kitchen table. You can take a walk and you do that. But that's no substitute for single-pointed meditation in a meditation posture with training. And that's the only way to see emptiness directly. Okay? You have to start with the analytical meditation, and then you have to move to seated meditation. And close your eyes on one point. Next question.
So
You look like you have another question.
yeah, I do. And it's
Yeah.
connected that we have 2 more minutes. So just for me to have it clear, what you're saying in this answer with analytical meditation, are we talking about, 3 steps to learn something very well? Studying, thinking about it,
Yeah.
and meditating.
Yeah.
In this case, are you equating analytical meditation to step number 2, or is different? You can either do analytical meditation and single-pointed meditation, but that's 3 meditation.
I agree with your point. I
What is
think classical learning process
Mhm.
in ancient Asia is 3 steps. Number 1, you sit in the class and you learn the idea. Number 2, I always think of driving home from the college, and it's a quiet drive across the desert. No one's bothering me. And I just think about things, and that's called contemplation. And then finally, when you get home, go inside, shut everything down, sit down, go into meditation. And I do believe Juan is correct that if you are deep into thinking as you drive your car, I would count it as the second step of the 3 steps of traditional learning. And I would say, yes, I agree. And you could do it in your car, driving your car. I agree. Yeah, cool. Nice question.
Okay,
Mm.
we have 1 more minute.
Okay, here it says, why meditation should be used for seeing emptiness directly? Archetype shaping for seeing yourself in the future, lion's dance or Mahamudra? Which one is better? I guess they didn't say the
Okay, I love this question. I'll tell you why. You know, yesterday, I think it was the, what's it called? The Meditation Institute?
Meditation Studies.
Meditation Studies Institute opened yesterday, I think, internationally. It's the newest member of the Worldview Network. And what I'm excited about is that, you know, I enjoy going to yoga in different cities around the world. When I travel, I like to get some exercise. I go to a yoga class. And I have learned so much cool stuff about yoga. There are great yoga teachers in every country around the world. I can remember being in Kiev and studying with a teacher there. Just by accident, I just went to the local yoga studio. She's now a dear, dear friend. She's still there in the basement with her child. And she's amazing. But in all these yoga classes I took around the world, sometimes they'll meditate for a few minutes before the yoga class. And I was very disappointed. Almost everybody, they don't know anything about meditation. And I love their yoga and they're great yoga teachers. But when they teach meditation, it's like, it's completely, you know, I don't want to say, but in the traditional Geshe course, for example, you will learn 100 kinds of meditation. And they say, Rigpa Tayepe Gone, Tomba Nisha. It means if you really want to get deep into having a hopeful year for 2023, if you want to learn how to create a good new year, what I would say is get a great teacher, go to the Meditation Studies Institute website, find a great teacher. There are 100 meditations you can do. And every one of them is amazing, but you need a teacher who knows what the heck they're talking about, okay? So that's what I would encourage. There's many kinds of meditation. The fact that you are asking this question means that you are one of the few lucky people who learned a whole box full of meditations. You want to know which one is better? They're all good. Or we didn't teach them. Okay. All right, that's all.
Thank you very much, Geshe. We hope to have more tomorrow.
Okay, we'll have
More.
one more Q&A.
Yes.
I think we have some.
Yeah,
special-
we have some special, how do we call it? We are, yeah, yeah. We have our friends. Welcome.
Later we'll call you.
So tell us a little bit, you have something prepared for us. How does this relate to this special day? What's the name of the thing you're doing?
It is like in the Chinese New Year, or we call it Lunar New Year, we will always say some nice words to give them greetings. Yeah, so we have a little game to play here today.
It's called 拜年 game.
Yeah,
拜年
call it 拜年.
You
Yeah.
ready?
Ready.
Okay, can we take control?
Yeah.
Thank you. I will call you up.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a competition going.
You don't need this, right?
It would be nice if we can see the feedback. Okay. 好，大家在吗？在的话，请回复一下。我们先给大家拜个年。First of all, we ourselves will do a greeting to all the friends, particularly the friends who are doing New Year to all of you. Okay. First, I want to wish you 兔年发大财。兔年发大财 meaning that I wish you a great fortune in the year of the rabbit.
Yeah, and I would like to wish you 兔年行大运, which means to have a good luck in the year of the rabbit. You do it this way.
Yeah. Together, we'll say Happy New Year to you. Yeah. Okay. Two means rabbit.
rabbit in Chinese. Two.
Okay. So Johnny will get the PowerPoint ready. Okay. Right now we're gonna have a little game. 我们现在要玩个小游戏啊。So we will teach our American friends to say some of the line here, and then Xiaoping and I both will teach them, and they will pronounce live. So no pressure. If you get one word correct, great. Then we will let the audience. 我们让观众来判断一下 let the audience to judge who do a better job. So we'll do 3 rounds. And then I told my friends, if you join my team, it means victory.
I have Geshe Michael on my team.
Okay. Okay. Who are we going to get first?
I will invite Geshe for like.
Okay. We have a fierce competitor, Venerable Jigme. Okay, you're on this team.
Oh, you are in the middle.
Okay.
Oh, man, pressure. Covered. What's the like?
Okay.
So I'm on your team.
You're on my team.
Gary.
Let's get it. Okay, so we'll teach them first quietly, and then they will pronounce.
Okay.
Okay. So you can choose this word. Here. Wait, Xiaoping, you get the wrong one.
Oh, okay.
Let me have that one. I
No,
like
but the audience sees this one.
Oh, okay, so
Okay.
that's okay.
This one.
No, we have to pronounce the same one.
Now I'm confused.
Like,
运 Okay, ready?
ready?
出来运转
Oh, okay.
出来运
运
转
转. Okay, let's see.
就来运转。
Let's say it louder.
What?
Together.
出来运转
Yay. Oh no. Let me see.
I hope it doesn't mean your mother's a terrible thing.
Oh no, now Geshe got 2 votes.
Yay.
Okay, we will say Geshe Michael. Huh?
But what does it mean?
Oh yeah, what does it mean? Xiaoping, what does it
It
mean?
means have a upturn luck.
Yeah, to upturn luck, to
It
have
means to have a good luck
from problems, basically.
Oh, turn problems into good.
into
Yeah.
good luck.
Okay.
Okay. can we do
Okay,
that?
so I have to say Geshe Michael win. Yeah. Okay, JB, you gotta help me. We're gonna get it back. Okay. And the AIL director, John Brady, and
YSI director Connie.
okay.
Family feuds. Family feuds.
First, I'm gonna let you know.
Okay. Okay, JB. Forward.
Okay.
Yang.
Yeah.
Yang.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this time we'll start.
Okay.
JB,
JB start.
Okay. Secret weapon. Okay.
杨梅出去。
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll try. Young May to she.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this one is we wish you to feel proud and elated. Okay, now JB got 1 more. JB. Connie got 2. JB got 3 more. Okay, say JB.
I can't do the pride.
Thank you. Okay, 最后一个. Okay.
I have Rosa on my team.
Rosa. Okay. I got my buddy. Daniel.
It's hard, right? It's hard. Okay, I was sorry.
前途甜
Who's gonna go first?
Okay,
What's your dinner tomorrow?
don't describe.
10, 2, 3, she.
Yes. Okay.
But it means to have a promising future.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Daniel, well, Daniel get all 4 of them. Rosa got 1. Rosa got 2. Okay, let's see. Rosa got 3. I think we got a time.
Okay.
Let's try.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
we wish you Happy New Year. 好，大家新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐，新年快乐。Okay，明天见。Okay, should we end it now or okay?
Okay.
Finish. See you tomorrow. 明天见。叫 call your friends.
Yeah,
Get
even
them here.
tomorrow we are
Yeah.
going to eat the dumplings. You don't want to miss that.
You don't want to miss that. Bye.